Hey guys, Muslim Cafe back at it again. Assalamu alaikum. How is everybody doing? I pray everybody's doing well. Now, today we're going to talk about Islam's view on race, lineage, or ethnicity. Now, basically, we see in society different types of society, especially if you live in America. The concept of race or ethnicity. Like, some people will be called white, but what does that mean? Does white mean your skin color is white? Does white mean you're of a European background? What does black mean? Then what does brown mean as well? Brown can mean you're either from the Indian subcontinent, you're Hispanic, you're Arab or Middle Eastern. You could even be some type of European. You can even be a so-called black person, but you could be considered brown, meaning like you're African or African American. So, and then what does Asian mean? There's different types of Asians as well. So, it's the concept of race becomes a confusing thing to different people. Ethnicity. Um, Now, as Muslims, of course, we believe in the Quran and the Sunnah, and we believe that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala created human beings, and we're all humans, right? So, in a sense, our entire race per se is the human race, and our father and mother is Prophet Adam, alayhi salam, peace be upon him, and Eve or Hawa, alayhi salam, peace be upon her. And we all come from them. And the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in his last sermon, he said, there is no difference between a black or a white, or a white or black, an Arab and a non-Arab, except in piety, except in God righteousness. I'm paraphrasing. It goes something like that. There's no difference between a white and a black, or there's no superiority over a white and a black, and vice versa, and then an Arab or non-Arab and vice versa, except in piety, God consciousness, righteousness, these type of qualities, basically. And but we do see on earth there are different types of people, different types of people. And the interesting thing is that, of course, we had the first couple of prophets. We had Adam alayhi salam, then Idris alayhi salam, and then Noah alayhi salam. During Noah's time, of course, we know the flood happened. And after the flood, because much of humanity and much of life was wiped out, humanity started again. That's why in Islam, we call Noah or Nuh alayhi salam our second father. So from there, the different types of people came, especially from his three sons, which are Ham, Yasfith, and Sam. How do I know this? Basically, Imam Tabari, a classical Islamic scholar, he wrote a book, actually, called The History of Al-Tabari. And here's the second volume, which is called Prophets and Patriarchs, and this was translated by somebody named William M. Brenner. So in this book, Imam Tabari, he brings different narrations on where did the different types of people came from. That's why I also define the different types of people, not as race per se, but as lineage, because we all trace our lineage back to the three sons of Noah and ultimately to Adam and Adam alayhi salam and Hawa alayhi salam, Adam and Eve, basically. Um, Now, in this book, it talks about from Ham. There are many different narrations. So from Ham came the Nubians, the Copts in Egypt, the Berbers in North Africa. Um, it also talks about Sudanese or Ethiopians, basically sub-Saharan Africans in general. Um, they came from Ham. Then two narrations at least talk about that the Indians and the Sindhis would be kind of like modern day Pakistan, and Indians, I guess, would be generalizing the Indian subcontinent. So Indians and Sindhis came from Ham. Now, from Sam, different narrations though show that the Arabs came from Sam, the Persians came from Sam. Interestingly enough, the Greeks came from Sam. One narration showed that the Indians and Sindhis, people of the Indian subcontinent, came from Sam. One narration shows this. So there's it shows that there's a difference of opinion, but there are more narrations that the people of the Indian subcontinent came from Ham. Now I saw nothing of Hebrews or the children of Israel or Israelites per se, but our logic will tell us that they will most likely will come from Sam because they're considered the cousins of the Arabs. And from Yasfit, narrations show us that the Byzantines, basically much of Europe or Western Europe per se, Byzantines came from Yasfit. Slav or Slavic people, which would be or Ukrainians, Russians, Czech Republic, if I said that correctly, and certain Eastern European types of people, which are Slavic people. It also shows that Turks came from Yasfit. Yajuj and Majuj, Gog and Magog came from Yasfit. And yes, that's pretty much it. Now, with other groups of people, I did not find per se that, like for example, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Thailand, Malaysian, like East Asian, Southeast Asian. Where did they come from? Now, I'm thinking that since the Turks came from Yasfit, and Turks are a type of Turkic people per se, and there are many different types of Turkic people, and many Turkic people have Mongoloid features that are like Chinese or Thailand. So generally, Turkic people, they probably came from Yasfit. If the Turks came from Yasfit, and then I would think that the East and Southeast Asians, they would also come from Yasfit. Why am I saying this? Because narration shows that majority of the languages on Earth came from Yasfit, while Sam and Ham is the same amount of languages. And also Native Americans, I did not find anything about that, but I would think they would also come from Yasfit because there are theories that they came from Mongolia, but I don't know how proper those theories are. They might come from Ham as well. I'm not fully sure. So basically, did I cover every types of people? Yeah, so that's basically all types of people, and these narrations show that. And this is the Islamic view on this concept of race, lineage, and ethnicity. It's an objective view, because there are many definitions of race, lineage, ethnicity that confuses people and really doesn't exist.